Yo, 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 back again with another YouTube video. And this is going to be still on the theme of nutrition, because I think arguably nutrition is the thing that people struggle with most for so many different reasons. And I'm here to try and help simplify it for you in a nice short amount of time as well. And one thing that I've been big on with my clients recently is how to simplify your nutrition. I think most of us know that we probably should eat better and how to eat better and what we should be doing, but it's actually putting it into practice every single day that is the struggle. And what I've come to realize with working with hundreds and hundreds of clients over the past 6 years is that they all need one thing: a system that works for them. Now, that word system gets thrown around a lot, so what does it actually mean? And this is something that I've been working on, I think subconsciously, with myself for a couple of years now, and it just feels like everything in those last 2 years has really clicked into place. And it's because I have a system. I track my calories all the time, and that's not the system alone. The way to simplify your nutrition and make it as easy as possible to stick to and as enjoyable as possible is to simplify it into removing decision fatigue. By around midday, most of us have made, I think it's 20 decisions around food. 20. If you're not planned, if you're not prepped, if you don't know what you're doing in that day, you're thinking about food all the time, whether you like it or not. It's about, what shall I have? Constantly going off in your head. Oh, shall I do this? Shall I do that? Oh, I haven't prepped this. Oh, what shall I go for? I'll pick something up from the shop. Shall I go for this? Shall I go for that? You can see how that quickly snowballs. Decision fatigue is huge. So you need to simplify that. You need to get that decision fatigue gone. The way to do that, and the easy way to do it, is I think that everyone should be tracking their calories at least for a period of time. Let's say you have 2,000 calories a day to play with, just for argument's sake. You break that down into 500 calorie meals. And this is the way to do it, and this is the way that I do it. You see my mouth watering now because I'm hungry and I haven't eaten yet. But the way to do this is to have 1 to 3 meals per meal that you know you enjoy, that hit the targets, that get you to where you want to be, and that taste really good. So for breakfast, you might have 500 calories to play with. You should have 3 options that you can then choose from. So that could be, and this is one that I always recommend to clients, or all of these really, especially if you're a busy person, which all of us are, something like overnight oats or hot oats or porridge, then something like Greek yogurt with granola, fruit, whatever you fancy in there, and then something like a smoothie or a protein shake and a bit of fruit. And that's kind of your fallback option, and the other 2 are the ones that you just rotate between. And it's about keeping that base as similar as possible. You can then get creative with the things that you put in with that. For me, I'm quite big on, and if you've been watching my channel for a while and you've been watching my pages, I'll have oats every single day. And it sounds boring, but it's not boring, because I'll mix around the flavors. I have a different whey protein. I went for a phase of having carrot cake whey protein. Then I'll have a cinnamon one. Then I'll have a vanilla one. And then it's the fruit that I'm putting on top of that. I'll sometimes go raspberries and blueberries. Sometimes I'll change that up and I'll have banana. I then might have a bit of Biscoff spread on there, a bit of peanut butter. I put cinnamon on top of it. I put some dark chocolate in. Obviously, it depends on how many calories that you've got, but that's how to keep variety, but within a structure. So you've got 3 meals there for breakfast that you can then just rotate between. You can prep in advance if you want to, especially with the overnight oats. An easy way to do it could be Monday through to Wednesday, you have prepped overnight oats. And then Thursday and Friday, you might have Greek yogurt. And then at the weekends, you might have a shake and a bit of fruit or a smoothie or something like that. That way, you know you're on target every day. You don't have to think. You know you enjoy it, and you can just rotate between it. Now, it doesn't have to be those foods. It can be whatever you fancy. And then for lunch, you have those 500 calories, have 1 to 3 meals that then you just rotate between. Now, I'd try and reduce this down typically with lunch, and you can be pretty busy throughout the day, so you don't have to think about your nutrition too much. I encourage clients to have a bit more variety, maybe with their evening meals if they want to, but I still think you should have that structure in the day. And then in the evening, you've got that 500 calories to play around with, arguably probably a little bit more, especially if you're eating with family and at home and you're cooking for other people. Maybe that can go up slightly, but then have a few meals that you have on rotation. We as humans only rotate between, I think it's like 14 meals throughout the course of a month anyway. So we are creatures of habit. Everyone thinks that they need to eat different foods all the time. They don't, because they don't do it anyway. Where you get that variety from is going to be with maybe eating out every now and then, maybe ordering a takeaway every now and then. And that variety, I think, should come from, you have structure, but within that structure, you have the variety. use different seasonings, use different sauces, but keep the base of your meals exactly the same. So if you're, at the moment, your protein source in the evening and you're enjoying it is chicken, okay, I've got 500 calories to play around with, I've got the chicken in there, now what do I build around that protein source? Then it's going to be carbohydrates, then it's going to be fats, then it's going to be the micronutrients, so maybe some veg, salad, whatever. And then the carbohydrate source, okay, pasta, how many calories can I fit in within that 500 calories of pasta? You can do the same for rice, you can do the same for potatoes. It's the same meal, but you're just rotating a few things around. And then you can do the same with the seasonings, with the sauces, with anything like that. The easiest way to stick to your nutrition without it feeling like a diet is to remove that decision fatigue, have 1 to 3 meals that you rotate for every meal that you have, with a fallback option for when you're traveling, for when you're working, when life throws you in the way or throws things in your way. That is the easiest way to stay on point. And I'm just going to touch on a couple of the questions that I got recently off of the webinar that we hosted for our clients about carbohydrates. And I've had a couple of chats with people actually in my Instagram DMs this week about it. People are still demonizing carbohydrates like they're the worst thing ever. That's the reason why they've put on weight and that's the reason why they're fat. It is just not the case. There is nothing wrong with carbohydrates. I eat carbs every single day. They are your fuel source. They taste bloody good as well. You don't want to get rid of them and you don't have to. It's normally just because they're easy to overconsume on. That's the problem, and it comes down to a calorie issue. So carbs are not the enemy, especially if you're someone who's training and training hard and training well. You need carbs to fuel your workouts. It's the energy stores that our body uses when we're in the gym. Carbs should be in your diet. Full stop. There's nothing better than carbs. And then the other question that we got was like, what are the best pre-workout snacks? Now, touching on what I just mentioned, carbohydrates, again, you want to be having some form of carbohydrate around an hour and a half to maybe 30 minutes before your session, depending. And there is no right answer for this, but I would always lean on the side of real food, whole foods, single ingredient foods as much as possible, things, carbohydrate sources that are going to digest very well. So depends when you train. There's a lot of depends in this. But something like a banana would be good. Some dates would be good if it's just going to be a snacky thing. If you're eating in the morning and you don't want to have a full meal. Things like oats are going to digest very well. If maybe you train after lunchtime, something that's going to have maybe like rice in it that will fuel your sessions would be a good idea. There's so many different options. There's nothing wrong with this. And then the classic bodybuilder one that I will do every now and then. I haven't had it in ages, especially being out here in Bali, but something like a squares bar. If you're short on time, you need a quick boost of energy. It's about 153 calories for a squares bar, I think. Chocolate caramel is the best one, don't come at me. That will go down pretty well 30, 40 minutes before a session and will help fuel your sessions. But as much as possible, go down a whole food approach, single ingredient food approach. It's going to digest the best and it's going to fuel your sessions. There's so many different options. Actually, if you would think this has just come to me now, if you would find it useful, I can create a full document of the best pre-workout snacks that I recommend with recipes, how to create them, all sorts. Please let me know in the comments if you find that useful. I'll create that guide and I'll get it out there. And that's going to be it for this one. So if you found that useful, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I've been pushing YouTube a lot. Please subscribe, please like it, please comment, please engage with it, because I'm enjoying making this and I want to provide as much value as possible.